Alright, we got some pluses, we had some positives today, and we have some really pretty serious negatives maybe. It might just be the modulator on the tranny, but no sooner did I mess around like that, I took it kind of around the block, which I shouldn't have done, but I didn't have the modulator hooked up to the transmission, and it was doing well until I came around it's a small block. You guys watch my videos, you see me sometimes go around the block, and by the time I got back here, Bubba was limping bad, barely get into the garage. So I checked the transmission fluid, and that was all topped off. It seemed a little, it was kind of smeared on the dipstick, so it seemed high to me. Maybe I overfilled it. That could be the problem. I don't know. Another negative is that brake booster. I should have known that. I got it out of a junkyard. I'm gonna buy a new one. I have no brakes, no power brakes, that is, and this thing is a pig to stop. We did not get the fan to go on. I'm trying to think, maybe since it works on a grounding system and I have all that Teflon tape. I got Teflon tape and pipe dope. Maybe it's not grounding itself out. The main ground from the battery to the motor itself, it's on the block, so that should be grounded. That should be ground. I am going to put a ground strap on. I'm going to change those hex bolts heads over to cap screws like these. He runs great. Fell a little flat on his face, I guess, because it's really muggy and hot today, and even Bertha was giving me some fits. But he was running good, and then when it warmed up a bit, it kind of, maybe there's got to be some more fine tuning on the carb, which I haven't done. I don't even have the vacuum advance hooked up, so that could have been the issue too. So, but it was very rewarding to actually pull this car out of this garage on his under his home power, because for 5 years I've either been pushing it in, pulling it out, getting people to help me push it in, pull it out. Essentially, when it was just the body of the car and I had no fenders and it was a subframe, I was actually doing that stuff myself. If you go back a few videos, it showed you how I was doing it. But I'm getting too old for that and I can't do that anymore. But he's really heavy now. So we still have fiddly bits, oodles and oodles of fiddly bits, but we're getting there. Just hope that this transmission problem is just something stupid like the modulator valve. Maybe the vacuum line has to be hooked up, or maybe I did overfill it. I guess they don't like that. I'll have to go on and research how to check line pressure. I guess there's some ports on the side of the transmission. You can see what you got for pressure, and then go in your book and check that against the book specs and see if that's all copacetic. The tranny came out of 65 Chevy pickup. It was from Eastern Transmission. Joe's shop over there, the guy that owned the building, left the truck there, but he pulled the tranny out, and apparently it had been rebuilt, so they said. The transmission fluid looked like royal purple when I was cleaning it up, and I kind of went to have an ass over tea kettle with the tranny, and it spilled some tranny fluid out there on the sidewalk, and it was purple. It looked like royal purple, and it didn't smell bad. So it might be something stupid. I hope it is, because I'd hate to have to pull this tranny out and rebuild that. But if it needs to be done, it will be done. I did get the car out, and I did get it to drive on its own power, and it is just into summer, what I expected it to do. I have to now call a company. I have a front glass and I have a back glass. The company that installed the windshield on Bertha, I'm going to see if they can come down and do it for me. I'm going to try to tell them that I have the own glass. I just need the installation. I hope they can send the crew down and do it. They were pretty decent people, so we'll see how it goes. I washed everything down, cleaned all the dirt and dust off of him. He was filthy, and looks a lot better. So there's a lot of positives. Oh, another thing that I did today too, since this hood was purchased, once again, maybe I'm a victim of being a cheap bastard, but sometimes you got to be a cheap bastard. But this hood, I purchased this And under the premise that I knew that it wasn't going to fit proper, the guy had told me right away. I paid, I think, $100 for this hood, fiberglass hood, and he says it's kind of curls up, and so I had to use hood pins, and that seems to keep it down and tight. So we'll just hopefully you guys can, which I'm okay with that. I don't mind hood pins. Gives it that old muscle car classic look, you know. Sorry about the shaky cam. You know, get the old school look. So those are in, and the way that the core support runs through here, it was really close to the edge. It just barely made it. And I put RTV under this and sealed it all. It's a fiberglass hood. And I think I'm going to get stainless screws for it and maybe through bolt it. Maybe not. We'll see how it goes. But at least it holds it down somewhat. You can still see it cupped up over here. And by me pulling that down there, it actually wings that up. But there's actually where the hood hinge goes down and hooks into that stud. I still got to install those, so that's going to pull that end down. So we need a brake booster, check the tranny. Glass, door glass, all the armatures and everything, get all that set. I need outer weather stripping for the rails here. I have all the trim pieces for around the windshield and around the glass. I got all of that. We're keeping that on for now. Later on down the road, I'll take it off and I'll just I'll weld up the holes, but we're gonna keep Midnight Rider on for now. It is what it is. I just don't want to just keep going backwards. I want to go forwards, and I want to enjoy the car. Hopefully I can, maybe by the end of the summer, get it done. But the transmission problem might be just what it is, problem. So I'm really not disappointed, actually. I'm really pleased. It's been so long that I brought this hulk of a, essentially it was a pile of shit, and I took this pile of shit and I turned it into a shiny pile of shit. So either way, proud of it. I'm proud of getting it out of the garage on its own, and we just got to work out the bugs, and we will. So marked in the second gen. I'd like to thank all the new subscribers for hooking on and joining on and watching, commenting, subscribing, and interact, guys. Leave comments. I will respond. Be well, be safe. Got a lot of that going around too. A lot of fire trucks all day long. Be well, be safe, and we will see you on the next one. Thanks. Peace.